Okay, so last time on the channel we looked at all heroic brutalities ranked for Mortal Kombat vs. DC, and that kind of hurt me a little bit. That was a painful video to go through, and I am sorry for everyone who had to be exposed to that. So I want to put myself in a bit of a better mood, and something you've all been asking for, we're going to be looking at all of the super moves from Injustice. Am I right? Oh, I forgot, we're still covering this piece of crap. Alright, let's just get this over with.
Fight!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name is Nick, and welcome to or welcome back to the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing for some more fighting game rankings and content like this, and so I can be finally done with Mortal Kombat vs. DC. Last time, we covered all of the heroic brutalities from this title, which you can check out up here, and we'll be looking into the DC villain fatalities this time. These are some of the more iconic comic book villains who get to express themselves as the best as they can through their fatalities, albeit very limited for a teen-rated game. Like last time, these will be ranked more on how well these translate into a teen-rated game, the fit to the character, and if they are actually good finishers. With that, let's wrap up Mortal Kombat vs. DC by looking at all 8 of the villains' fatalities. We are starting this ranking off with the Gotham City burglar, Selina Kyle, better known as Catwoman. With the worlds colliding and the DC superhumans fighting the metahumans of the Mortal Kombat universe, what finishers does she bring to the table? Well, let's see what this was. Oh, you've cat to be kidding me, right meow. Taking the bottom spot of all villain fatalities is Catwoman's claw attack. Not gonna lie, this is probably one of the weaker finishers in the entire title, even rivaling Kano's ground slam. Taking a scratch to the face and then a stab to the gut is pretty weak. With the 4 fatalities doing the stab approach, this is definitely the weakest of them all, easily landing itself in the litter box. And speaking of stabbings, we're moving on to our next spot with one of my favorite DC characters, and who would later be ripped off by Deadpool, Deathstroke. With someone dangerous enough to equal Batman, take on the Teen Titans and even the Justice League, I'm pretty disappointed with this assassin's methods of execution. Gunshot fires into number 7. I'm sorry, for how awesome this character is, this finisher doesn't exemplify those great qualities. It's a pretty lame finisher, just a stab and a censored headshot, which only 2 censored finishers in this game were due to depicting headshots in teen-rated games. Oh man, how times have changed within the span of 13 years. I really wish they did something different for the cunning and deadly assassin. Consider his bounty your expectations, because Deathstroke just killed them. At number 6, and we're already wrapping up one character on the villain side of this ranking. To me, Catwoman has some of the weaker fatalities from the entire game, which is really saying something when this entire title has a bunch of weak and downgraded fatalities. Like a whip, let's crack into the last of hers. Neckbreaker makes its way at number 6. I know people prefer her first finisher over this one, but I can appreciate this one a bit more since it at least uses her whip in a unique way. Sure, it's paced a little weird and could be executed faster, but at least it doesn't feel generic like the claw attack. With that, Catwoman is already out of this ranking. Guess you can say Catwoman's finishers are over at a breakneck pace. We're halfway through this list and we're looking at one of the more iconic characters in pop culture, the Joker. Though this game is despised by hardcore fans, the Joker is one of the highlights for his infamous fatality. Sadly, his second one is just, well, okay, I guess. playing cards deals into number 5. This one is pretty similar to Katana's fan throw and Kano's knife toss, but with a unique spin being playing cards instead. It's also nice to see him throw 5 cards instead of the other 2 characters throwing just 2 items into their chest. It just makes it a little different and it fits the character a little more. Way to change suit and make it work, Joker. Let's finally look at the big, bad, bald-headed menace to Superman, Lex Luthor. Armed with his war suit to fight Kryptonians, it has crazy strength, crazy enough to do something like this. Body twist contorts into the 4th spot. Even for a teen-rated game, this provides some pretty good shock value. Performing the first half of Johnny Cage's torso rip from MK4 is pretty funky and quite disturbing. It also is the fastest fatality in the title, so it's over extremely quickly. Dare I say, in a flash. Not too much to say about this one besides it's right to the point and it's memorable for how strange it is. So way to twist things up, Lex. Cracking into the top 3 with the mercenary nicknamed the Terminator, Deathstroke. Not gonna lie, his first one left a lot to be desired and came off as a misfire. Okay, I swear to God, I did not mean to make that pun in there. I'm just reading this in the script right now. I am so sorry. However, good old Slade makes up for that with a pretty alright second one, although it does have a couple of issues. Neckbreaker cracks into number 3. Of Slade's 2 finishers, this one is loads better. Using the opponent to cut them down and then force the opponent to be an owl is quite disturbing. I mean, he just twists their head around 180 degrees.
With relative ease.
Upon closer inspection, the opponent is either still blinking or emoting, which does kill a little bit of the effect of the neck snap. Besides that, it's pretty solid. With that, Deathstroke has collected his bounty and is out of the ranking. Our runner-up comes from one of the top members of the Legion of Doom and the lead singer of Lex Luthor. Alright, I think only 3 people got that reference. Lex Luthor. With his first one being this, his second one is actually pretty solid with little complaints.
Lex Luthor wins.
Locking into the second spot is Missile Attack. For a toned-down Mortal Kombat finisher, this one is not bad at all. Locking on and blowing the opponent up is a pretty good finisher. Sadly, the body does not go boom. Would have preferred if there wasn't anything left after all the missiles hit the opponent. I think that would have made that really cool. Not gonna lie, this feels almost like a Sector fatality, minus all of the blood and gibs flying around. This finisher is just a blast.
Yeah, this really isn't much of a shocker to anyone.
Coming as no surprise to any longtime fan of this ranking series or of the Mortal Kombat franchise, we're closing out this list by looking at the Clown Prince of Crime. With this first one being pretty alright, fitting the mold of the projectile-based finishers, this is truly an iconic one and probably the biggest positive people have with this title.
The Joker wins. Fatality.
Number 1 goes to Joker's Gunshot, or what I like to call Bang Bang. Despite the censorship, with the teen-rated games not being allowed to show the headshot, unless you live in the UK, where it was uncensored, this one was still memorable for the comedic pacing and feeling so Joker-like. As I mentioned in all Shang Tsung finishers ranked, this fatality was given the unrated treatment and included the headshot with the updated gore engine. People remember this fatality for so many reasons. It was even referenced in MK11 as Joker's outro when he wins a match as well. I guess just wading through lackluster finishers from both the MK and DC side, after being super patient, you for how iconic this is and for its impact on the series, makes this the best fatality from the DC villains and the best fatality in Mortal Kombat vs. DC. And there's my ranking of all 8 DC villain fatalities from the worst to the best. Which one of these DC villain fatalities was your favorite, and why is it the Joker's Bang Bang? Share yours down below. Also, if you could make a fatality for the DC villains, totally uncensored and just unrated, what would it be? Share yours down below as well. With that, MK vs DC is finally wrapped up. Not gonna lie, I do feel really bad messing with you all and doing that bait and switch. To make it up, I'll be covering all supers ranked and we'll be covering Injustice 1. So come back Monday, February 13th for the next episode covering supers. I've also seen some of your comments regarding other rankings for MK, such as the continuation of all costumes, brutalities, and friendships. So stay tuned for those updates on those. I promise those are coming. Until then, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and share as it helps this channel grow. My name is Nick, and have a smooth day.